Welcome to the next part, that is the female gametophyte development or the megagametogenesis process. In here we observe the functional megaspore. Already you have earlier we have got that how the megaspore mother cell it forms linear tetrad and develops into a functional megaspore. Now this functional megaspore it divides initially by mitosis into two daughter cells. Now these two daughter cells with haploid chromosome numbers will move to the opposite poles. Gradually they undergo the second mitotic division. Okay, in the second mitotic division they form two cells on either sides, followed by the third mitotic division. When the third mitotic division takes place, total 8 cells are formed, 4 in one point and 4 on the other side. So these cells then gradually what happened, one cell from each pole move to the center and they behave as the polar nuclei, and the cells towards the micropylar part they behave as the egg apparatus. Okay, now the egg apparatus it consists of a central larger cell which is the egg, that is the female gamete, and two synergids, and the cells towards the chalaja end they form the antipodal cells, and the central cell it is the secondary nucleus. Okay, so this is the total megagametogenesis process. Now let's discuss in details about the individual cells of the embryo cell. Okay, so you have understood the process of megagametogenesis. Very simple, 3 mitotic divisions and ultimately 4 cells in 4 sides, and they develop the embryo cell. Now first of all, the egg apparatus, which consists of 3 cells. Okay, these 3 cells have a conspicuous common wall towards the micropylar half. Okay, they are arranged and they are separated and become thin towards the central cell. Now the synergids which are present on either side of the egg are the helper cells. Okay, that means they have lateral hooks, terminal filiform apparatus and a wall towards the chalaja end. The cytoplasm is vacuolated with the central nucleus, and in one embryo sac actually one synergid degenerate at the time of the entry of pollen tube. That means when the pollen tube enter, the synergid degenerate in order to first it provides the passage, or it shows the pathway for the pollen to enter into the embryo sac and reach the egg, and the second synergid degenerate after the embryo sac has received the pollen tube. That means whenever first one comes, first will degenerate, when it enters it the second one degenerate. Okay, that means the synergids help in obtaining means nourishment for the outer nucellar cells. Okay, from the outer nucellar cells, and they guide the path of the pollen tube. Okay, that means they secrete some substances which will help the pollen tube to guide it to the path that is towards the female gamete, that is the egg. Okay, now egg, which represents the female gamete or the main reproductive part which is required for sexual reproduction or fertilization. Now the wall is quite thick towards the micropylar end and is gradually thins towards the chalaja end. Okay, now this is the chalaja end, this is the micropylar end. Now all the 3 cells of the egg apparatus they communicate with one another to the central cell by plasmodesmata. Okay, there are some connections, cytoplasmic bridge, which will help them for connection between the cells. Now the antipodal cells, here also 3 cells are present towards the chalaja end. These are vegetative cells and they degenerate as soon degenerate because they provide nourishment. Okay, so while they are providing nourishment, that's why they are absorbing and finally they degenerate. They possess some enzymes, starch, lipids and proteins which are taken by the embryos, zygote embryos when they are developing. Then the central cell, which is a diploid cell, it is the largest cell of the embryo cell. It has highly vacuolated cytoplasm rich in reserve food and Golgi bodies. Okay, the 2 polar nuclei actually fuse to form a single diploid secondary or definitive nucleus. Now this particular cell It is also known as secondary nucleus, definitive nucleus. Okay, now it is diploid in structure because two haploid cells are fusing, and so which later develops into the primary endosperm cell. Okay, so this is the total development of the female gametophyte. The process is very simple. That means the megasporogenesis and megagametogenesis are together simultaneously linked to one another. Hope the videos are clear to you. These processes are simple. Go through it, go through the notes, and it will be easy for you to understand.